Welcome to today's explainer. If there's one single place where English speakers completely trip up, and I mean whether you're an absolute beginner or practically fluent, it is without a doubt the past tense. It's literally the ultimate conversation trap. So today we're going to break down the absolute essentials of English past tenses. We'll clear up all that lingering confusion around verb forms and show you exactly how to structure your sentences so you can finally tell your stories with total confidence. Let's dive in.
Be honest with me for a second. Does the past tense completely confuse you? Do you ever find yourself just pausing mid-sentence, totally frozen, wondering, wait, should I say I went or I had gone? Look, if you're nodding your head right now, I want to reassure you, you are definitely not alone in the struggle. It's a ridiculously common hurdle. But in today's explainer, we're going to apply a perfectly logical breakdown to these rules, and I promise you, by the time we finish, we are going to permanently fix that conversational confusion.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the basic structures of the past tense, then compare simple past versus continuous. After that, we'll tackle used to and would, clear up that massive V2 versus had confusion, and finally, I'll show you the absolute right way to practice.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the basic structures of past tense. Really, the foundation of it all.
Okay, think of this like a linguistic magic trick. We can actually multiply a single thought into 5 distinct categories. Take our first step, a basic affirmative statement. She went there. This uses the second verb form, or V2, your standard simple past verb. But watch what happens when we make it negative and add did not. The absolute golden rule here is that the second did enters the chat, your V2 verb went instantly drops back to its base form, V1, which is go. So it becomes she did not go there. This exact same rule applies to questions too. Did she go there? And why did she go there? It's that simple. By practicing just one thought across all 5 of these structures, you're going to build incredible mental flexibility. Moving right along to Section 2, simple past versus continuous. This is all about distinct actions versus ongoing moments.
So, picture this. First you have the simple past. A sentence like, I helped him. Boom. The action is done. Put a period on it. End of story. But then you have the past continuous, something like, I was helping him when you came. Imagine a super relatable scenario here. You're right in the middle of doing something, helping a friend, and suddenly, bam, a completely new event interrupts you, like someone else arriving. You absolutely need that continuous form, was helping, to show that the action had duration and was actively, literally happening at that exact moment in the past. Now, to actually execute these tenses smoothly in real life, you need to maintain what we like to call your brain balance. Sounds fancy, right? But it just means naturally and accurately recalling states of being in the past using was and were. Look, before you start stressing out over super complex verbs, ask yourself, can you effortlessly describe a past state? Think about these examples. He was busy, I was at my home, he was a doctor 2 years ago. Maintaining this brain balance means your mind instantly reaches for was or were without any panic whenever you need to describe the condition, location, or state of someone in the past. Getting this right sets the stage for so much smoother storytelling.
Okay, Section 3. Let's talk about used to and would, which cover past habits and conditions.
Let's start by defining used to. We use this little phrase to describe things that were totally true or happened regularly back in the day, but simply aren't true anymore. It is the absolute perfect tool for unpacking childhood memories. Like causing a ton of mischief when you were a kid? Come on, don't deny it, we all did it. Or maybe speaking a native language growing up that you just don't use as much these days. Basically, it shows a deeply ingrained past habit or a state of just being really accustomed to something.
Now here is where it gets interesting, the crucial split between used to and would. When you say, I used to live an indoor, that reflects a habitual past state. It's a cold, hard fact of the past. But then we have would. While would can occasionally sneak in to describe past habits, its real superpower in this context is conditional or hypothetical. For instance, I would speak if you told me to speak. Do you hear the difference? It describes an action that completely depended on another condition being met first. Honestly, mastering this split instantly elevates your conversational English to a whole new level.
Which brings us to Section 4, the confusion of V2 and had, or as I like to call it, the biggest culprit in English cramp.
All right, listen up, because I need you to absolutely burn this quote into your memory. Never use had with yesterday, last week, or last month. Seriously, say it out loud with me right now if you have to. This is a golden rule of English grammar. These time markers dictate that an action is firmly closed, done, and completed in the past, and that requires the simple past tense. Absolutely not the past perfect had. No exceptions.
Let's look at exactly why doing this is such a major grammatical error. If you say, yesterday I had helped him, the word yesterday violently clashes with the word had for a native listener. It just sounds off. Instead, just say, yesterday I helped him. See? No had necessary at all, just a crystal clear time marker and a straightforward V2 verb. Keep it simple, guys.
So you might be wondering, when do we actually use had? Well, think of it like a timeline. You use had, which is the past perfect tense, only when you need to clearly show that one specific action was completely 100% finished before another action happened in the past. Let's look at an example. Action 1, he had eaten food. Action 2, when I went there. So by the time I actually arrived, the eating was already completely over. Think of had as simply the past of the past. It sets the sequence.
Now, there is a whole other layer to the word had that we absolutely have to clarify. Sometimes had isn't a helping verb at all. For example, it can show possession, like I had time yesterday but I didn't go. Here, had simply means you possess something, time, in the past. Contrast this with compulsion, like I had to go there. Whenever you add the word to right after had, it completely changes the meaning. It means you were forced or obligated to do something, like you had to study hard. Recognizing this simple distinction is going to prevent so much daily confusion for you.
And just to fully round out the had family here, let's briefly look at the past perfect continuous. He had been studying for 2 days. When you combine had been with an ing verb, you are showing an action that was ongoing for a continuous period in the past, leading right up to another point in the past. It's a beautifully descriptive tense when you use it correctly.
Finally, we've arrived at section 5, the right way to practice. Let's dive into the 10-sentence practice formula.
Okay, here is your ultimate formula for mastery. First, you've got to keep those past helping verbs, was, were, had, constantly spinning in your brain so they become an absolute reflex. Second, really challenge yourself to speak longer, much more descriptive sentences. Don't just settle for I went. Say I went to the store because I needed supplies. See the difference? And third, practice the 10-sentence drill. Take every single structure we learned today and force yourself to write and speak 10 original sentences for each one. This kind of focused repetition drill is exactly how you completely eliminate hesitation from your everyday speech.
So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge right now. Which past tense structure are you going to use for your 10-sentence drill today? Are you going to master the simple past, or finally conquer that stubborn V2 versus had confusion? Pick one right now, grab a pen, and start writing. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer. Now get out there and start speaking with absolute confidence.